The depot was, I guess you could call it, probably the central place in town. The train schedule down at the museum, but the train that everybody talked about was 41 and 42. 41 went south, 42 went north, and people would be down on the front street, and somebody'd say, well, it's time for 41 to come through, and you go down and watch, and they'd stop, and they'd unload the mail, and then I guess Mr. Samples is probably the first one I remember. Called him Sally Samples. Mr. Samples, his wife was a teacher of mine in the 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade. Miss Samples. Later on, she went to Hiawassee as a dorm mother over. But anyhow, that's when they'd unload the mail off the coming either south or north, and they'd take it down to the post office. Had a cart that they pulled. That was a ritual in town, because when that was what we called the streamliner. That's when they first diesels, I guess. But the old trains used to have a locomotive, and we had a water tower down below where Purdy's got his lot now. That used to be a stockyard there, where people brought their cattle in and they load them on the rail. And then right next to that was the water tower where the train stopped, and they had to take on water. And we had a place down below town called the Sweetwater Jungle. It's down below, I guess, where the pole plant is now. There was a good swimming hole down there. Most of the creek at that time had people, the sewage went into the creek. But if you got down that, there wasn't no houses down there, so that's a pretty good place to go. So what we'd do, we'd wait till the train come down, and they'd stop to fill up with water. And then when the train would start out, we would be down below the bridge over next to the SO gas place. I think the rescue squad has it now. When the train would start out, then we'd hop on the train and we'd ride down to the below the pole plant now. In fact, that's where the cemetery was that they moved up and to Westview when they opened up the pole plant. But we'd go down there and go swimming, and then we would catch the train back, because it'd be slowing down if you're going to get water. Only bad thing about that, if you got on the train and if he'd filled up water in Athens, he was slowing down. The time he got to Sweetwater, he'd speed it up. And when you unloaded, sometimes you wound up with some skint elbows, skint knees, and things like this. But those are the things that I remember about Sweetwater.